advertisement of the notice, and the application is for the following: the application of Wilkie and Divinity Paz, tax map 107-120, Tower Hill Road, seeking relief from the following sections of the Village Code. Section 100-9B, where deck and porch coverage is 59% and the maximum permitted coverage is 25%. Section 100-18A, where the height of the front yard columns is 7'6" and the retaining wall height is 6 feet, and the maximum permitted height in the front yard is 4 feet. At this point in time, I would turn it over to Karen. Karen, you're going to present for the applicant?
Yes, both Kevin Brody, the architect, and I am going to present.
Can I just interrupt? I'm sorry, the BZA attorney. Do we have affidavit of mailing and return receipts for the mailing? John, have you received those?
I have not. Karen, do you know, were they received by you?
The Pays were doing that.
Yeah, so I did mail them out on Saturday. I didn't do a return receipt, so but I did send all of them out. I went to the post office myself and put the stamps there and delivered it myself.
Okay, so you didn't do certified return receipt, and you only sent them out on this past Saturday?
No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Right, the date that John had told us to mail it out by, the Friday or the Saturday, right? So I did it that Saturday.
All right, so you'll need to provide us with an affidavit of mailing certifying that you did that.
Okay.
And normally these go out certified return receipts, so we will probably keep the public hearing open to make sure that everyone who's had an opportunity to speak. I'm a little concerned about that. So can you get the post office to provide you with any kind of list?
Yeah, sure. I can go to the post office and see how they can help me. I mean, I know that a few of the families on that list were our friends, so maybe if they received the mail, I'm just backtracking to think how we can, you know.
All right. Well, why don't we touch on that later? We'll talk about that later, and for now we can move forward with the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like to share the screen with everybody. Is that? I would like to share my screen.
Can you accommodate that, John?
I think so. 1 second. Karen, do you know what I have to do on my end to share the screen? I'm looking at a few of the options.
I think there's a button on the bottom.
It says share screen.
Like on the bottom panel.
Yeah, I see. Participants.
Share screen is right next to it, John, in green.
In green.
I see it.
Going right.
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
I think though that shares John's screen, doesn't it?
Right.
Right.
Karen, do you have that same icon?
Yes, I've been hitting a button and it says host disabled shared screen.
Oh,
It was not intentional.
then that's no good.
Right. Yeah, host disabled attendee screen sharing. I guess there's some pull down or something to.
I'm looking. 1 second. Disable.
Room management under admin.
Under admin.
On the left-hand side.
Oh, hold on. I'm looking at my screen and the Zoom screen at the same time.
Oh, now I see a computer.
Yes, I'm sharing my screen and not yours.
But go back to when you were on, John, and the admin functions are there.
Oh,
You could just, if hers is on, if you can put yours on this laptop, then you can just open that up.
Oh, yeah, John, if you can put the color drawing I sent today, but I would like to point to things on there.
You can do it.
Okay.
Just put it up.
all
Save it to the laptop.
right. Okay, there's stop sharing. I need some guidance here.
Oh, okay, I know, I think I know how to do it. Go up to the top panel,
Yes,
next where it says meeting and the pull down menu, and it says start share.
Yeah, but isn't that his
that's my
And
screen,
that'll share his screen.
and I don't have your document.
Okay. So I'm just getting
Either-
host.
He either has to enable you or adopt yours onto his screen, and can you send it to him and then he can
Oh,
upload it?
yes, yep. I'll do that right now.
I use Zoom like 20 times a day.
Yeah, we should let you run the meeting, Mary.
I'm
Obviously,
really,
you're
yeah,
good.
you should. I have a meeting room. Of
Right.
course, everything would be recorded for China. So that's,
Oh, come on.
can someone text or email
Well,
to
Did
Nancy?
you get,
Do you think she forgot or just can't get on?
now I'm having, let me go.
You can't send it?
It's just, I'm on my laptop and let's see.
Hey, John, could you share your screen again, your Zoom screen that you had up before?
No, well,
I'll be right back. I'll go to my desktop and send it.
We probably don't really need to see it if we all read the stuff.
I think so.
Dave, when are you heading back? Have they told you? July? To work? 1/3 of the workforce?
When am I going back?
Yeah. What has your firm said about?
Well, we got a survey yesterday about whether we want to or need to go back. So they're already starting it, but
No
I mean,
decision.
90-some% of Morgan Stanley is working from home, so a lot of people probably won't go
What
back.
percentage? 87?
90, over 90%, yeah.
Wow.
So some of the trading desks are back and some stuff like that, but
Yeah. There was some discussion that July 22, 1/3 of the workforce would go back. And then 50% by the end of September. But with the news of everything spiking, that's changing things.
yeah, but what I've seen is that the cases are much more mild
Oh,
and they're only lasting for a couple of days on
Really?
average. Yeah, so we'll see.
they should really talk about that because it's
Yeah,
really, again, it's, fear mongering by the media.
yep.
So I sent it to you, John.
Yes, I see. I just don't know how I'm gonna share this page. Sorry, hold on a second.
If you upload it, you could upload it and then open it.
No. Hold on.
Oh, I think I can share the screen now, maybe.
Oh,
Can you?
Now I got to get my drawing.
if you send it to me, I can.
Oh my gosh.
Do we need to see it since we all, is
Okay,
it,
maybe not.
is it something different from what we were sent or,
Well, it was just a color drawing that would explain everything better.
oh,
So John's going to go to share screen, John, and then you bring the document up and it will show to us.
Was this document already submitted, Karen?
It's just a color drawing of what was submitted. So it's, okay, we can go to L2, the village zoning sheet.
Yeah. So I think I'm able to share the document. Should I just do that? Should I bring it up?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we can see it.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Okay, you got it, great. Okay, so what we are requesting is for a variance for the porch, for the percentage of ratio of porch compared to decks and porches compared to the ground floor of the building. We have 59% above ground area, and if you look on L2, I shaded the areas that were counted in this calculation, and it's numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see all the areas that are above grade. So that total area is 1,314 square feet. And it's 1,000, and what's allowed is 1,314 feet. And what we are requesting is 1,786 feet more. So, so it's 59% total. It's 34% over what the zoning board allows. And basically, we want to show you that these areas are very far away from.
Hey, Karen,
Yeah.
it's not 34% more. It's 34 percentage points. So it's more than double, right? Is that
Yeah.
that's what we're saying? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're allowed 25 and we're requesting 34. So if you look at the color rendering, you can see that the area where the porch is above grade is right in the middle of the site, so it's well screened from all the neighbors. We're saving a lot of trees on the site. It's 164 feet away from the back. There's a road in the back.
What do you mean the back?
Road.
You mean Tower Hill
Tower
Road?
Hill
or
is in the front,
Continental?
and on the bottom of the site, it's bounded by Continental Road.
Continental, yeah.
So, and we're 150 feet away from the terrace to that road. And then to the house, it's 150 feet. So we're quite a distance away, and we're saving a lot of the existing vegetation. And the reasoning is that the property slopes. So you enter on the first floor, but with a significant slope, you exit on the ground floor at the basement level. And so the Pazes would like to have outdoor spaces that relate to the first floor of their home, the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room. So that's where that variance that we're requesting stems.
Can you say that again, Karen?
So the Paces would like to have the outdoor living spaces relate to the indoor living spaces of the kitchen, because the kitchen's on the first floor of the home.
Right.
And the living room, the dining room, those areas, they would like to be able to go outside onto the terrace. And then a little piece of the pool deck is above grade. If you look at my L2 drawing and the shaded areas, those show that it's above grade. But the swimming pool area, you would not hardly know that it's above grade because there's terraces with plantings in it that would soften it, and you wouldn't even really know that it's above grade because it, from the swimming pool itself, it'll look like it's the same grade.
Do you have the elevation from the Continental Road viewpoint?
So from Continental Road, we have around a 634 foot elevation, and then the site is 670 feet.
I'm talking about the perspective to look at it from.
Oh, we did not draw that perspective, no.
Okay.
But that area, if you look in the back, all those existing trees we're proposing to save, and we're also proposing to mix in some evergreen plantings of white.
Excuse me, has there been an engineering report regarding drainage?
We haven't done the drainage report yet, but we've been working with an engineer to with all the concepts, and the engineer will make sure that there's no issues with the water draining.
You know, that's one of the complaints of the neighbors.
Yes.
The concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have an engineer. We have an idea how we're handling the stormwater. The engineer is just going to put it together once we wanted to get through the variance process first, because I didn't think the engineering portion of the project needed a variance. It's my understanding that that's more of the BAR and the planning board.
Yeah, but I think that you have to understand that once we give the variance and then the engineering report comes back, that's going to impact what the slope is and the drainage. And there is a long-standing history on this particular road on Continental, particularly down at this end of Continental, going back many years when I was on the board, with regard to problems with drainage. And this has been, and John can probably speak to this as well, John Ledwith, going back at least 10 years ago when this was hugely problematic to the neighbors with regard to the drainage because of the slope there, and it just has a tendency, the sewers do not handle the water on Continental appropriately, and it's like a river.
So I can explain to you some of the drainage concepts. One of the regulations in Tuxedo Park is that we can't exceed existing drainage flow, and I'm sure that the engineer will meet that requirement. Several of the things we are doing, we are putting we're in addition to providing, there's going to have to be some underground tanks in some places, but we're also providing storage in a rain garden, which is to the south of the swimming pool. We have, if you move up to the the parking court where all the pavement is, between the wall and the pavement, it is a French drain that will drain to an underground storage system, as well as, and we were also talking, the engineer and I, the Great Lawn, where I show the Great Lawn, it's a fairly flat area. We were going to capture a lot of water there and let it slowly percolate into the ground. And these will all be, and we also have other areas where we're planning to capture it. So this will all be documented in the drainage report that Dave Getz, engineer, he will provide that report. But we were thinking about it the whole time that we were designing.
But to a degree, you're kind of putting, we're being put to make a decision before we have all the information.
I think
And
we
that
have to
kind of,
delay and get
it
this-
kind of puts us at a disadvantage.
I think we have to
Oh,
delay. until we
I
get-
I didn't know that you needed drainage information to make.
Well, obviously, the percentage of the decks add to the drainage issues, all right? So it does become problematic.
Okay,
I think we have to have the drainage information. But Karen, I want to ask you, the next door neighbors, the Hanson, I think it is, to the right of the house, the Stiers are on the left, Hansons are on the right.
mhm.
They also have a swimming pool. What has been the situation with that drainage and that issue?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's important to find out.
Well, Mary, it's Gary. And I guess I would again defer back if John Ledwith has any comments, but I can tell you that 10 years ago when I was on the board, when Hanson was in the process of doing his construction,
The board of
this-
what? Which board?
Board of Trustees,
Yeah.
this turned into a massive problem.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not sure, and I guess I'm not updated as to whether this thing was ever fully resolved.
Well,
You
they
know,
do have a pool. They
Oh,
do.
I know they did, but the drainage issue was, I mean, there was litigation, there was insurance claims, there was a lot of everything happening because of the drainage problem, both during the construction period and then subsequent.
Uh-huh.
To Gary's point, there were at least 2, if not 3, revisions to Donald Hanson's drainage plan. And at this point, there's been no problems. But once again, the Hanson's drainage plan had to be enhanced more than twice in order to accommodate the water that was partially coming off his lot.
So John, can you, what storm should we account for when Dave does the drainage calculations?
That should really be discussed between the village engineer and Dave.
Yeah, okay. Well, they'll have
I
that.
think it would be very useful to look at that, Karen. That's why I raised it.
Yeah.
Because it was terribly problematic. And it was, your next door neighbor ignored stop orders, stop work.
Right.
He was totally, a maverick.
And Karen, one other issue that didn't get triggered with your application, but your lot coverage is just a fraction under the maximum. And that, of course, starts to raise some concerns. The lot coverage is at 24.71%, and the maximum is 25%. So that does start to raise concerns if there is enough area on the lot that will accommodate the increase in water runoff from not only the roof, but any other impervious surface around the house.
And Karen, I may have missed this, but did you have a drawing which shows the porch area that would be allowable, the 25%?
No, we did not
very
do that.
interested to see
I think
that.
that's a great idea. I was going to suggest that too.
Mary, would you repeat that? I couldn't understand that. Sorry, I came in late.
Hello,
Hi,
Nancy.
Hi, sorry.
We're glad you're here. So, well, right now, we're looking at this sharing of the screen, which shows the ideal or what the resident would like to have, which is, of course, larger than is allowed. And so I think it would be very interesting to compare how it would look with the allowed versus what is requested.
Can I just interject? Kevin Brody, I'm the architect. So we're actually allowed to build, right, we're at 24.71%, as John pointed out. So we're under the allowable limits for total impervious coverage on the lot. It's really, I think it's really just a matter of the porches that were over on percentage by, basically 34% above the 24% allowed, which is about 110% increase. But the overall impervious is still under the 25% allowed. So
the overall impervious?
Yeah, so anything that's not grass, basically, pool decks, driveway, patios, the house itself. So we're still, from an engineering standpoint, I mean, from my experience anyway, I think we're still well within limits to contain the water that's going to be pouring off of the.
No. The issue is not water. That's one issue, the drainage. But the issue that was presented to us was that you are requesting basically a 59% increase as opposed to a 25%. Is that correct? Could you clarify?
Yeah, double.
So what is
It
Kevin
is, yes.
trying to say is the porch that we show above. So if you look at the drawing
Yeah,
with the house and it says a porch above and below,
right.
we are allowed to build the one below. And that will still, because that'll be on grade. That's not above grade. What we're requesting is the ratio difference. We're not requesting an increase in impervious surface. We basically are allowed to build everything that's shown on here in terms of impervious surface. We're asking for some of them to be attached to the first floor of the house and elevated, and we're above what's allowed to be elevated.
So as you go, if you're going down the hill, you're at a quote so-called basement level. The basement level porch is within the boundaries or within the regulation guidelines that overlook the pool. And what you're asking for is a first floor additional porch. Is that correct?
That's correct. And it would be right on top of the patio below. So no, there's really no increase in impervious surface. There's just just having the area above grade is where we're over on the zoning calculations. It's
What
the
is all
porch
that
area.
to the side, you know, going off to the side on the first floor?
So the way the ground slopes, we can't really go off on the side at all. And we're trying to keep it, so if you look on the north side, the right side of the drawing, there's a huge grass area, and that's pretty much level with the basement. So we're trying to keep that grass area, the flat grass area, still flat. We don't want to grade up or anything to meet the first floor, because the big flat lawn area actually helps quite a bit in stormwater, because the flatter an area is, the slower the water travels, and it's allowed to, it percolates into the ground more. So that we would rather keep that flat for both stormwater reasons, and it's just the natural terrain, and we're meeting it by going out the basement level.
Are you adding any dirt under the swimming pool?
No, the swimming pool there's a 4-foot wall on the back side of the swimming pool, and it's right, and that's what will contain the pool itself. And we are adding a little bit of soil in the terraced areas around the spa, and just to make it look nice, so that we can have plantings around everything.
Can you
So,
show the west elevation of the architectural drawing?
yeah, Kevin can do that.
Yeah, I can't show that though. Can I share that?
Yeah, I can stop the share and then you can you
Okay.
can just screen share. Yep.
Okay, great. All right, let me bring that up on mine. Okay, let's see if I can share this.
Karen, if you could, can you explain the area between number 3 and number 4 and why it's not shown as being elevated? Why did it stop?